Okay, here we go. So using AI and divine intelligence. So today it's all about fusing that artificial intelligence with your own divine intelligence, and to make it content creation like fun and fast and easy, because who here kind of like feels like you're on that content hamster wheel where you're always like needing to produce different things, and it just can feel like it's weighing you down a bit. So let's look at it, how we can make it, turn it around and make it like really fun. So the objective today, or my intention for you today, is no more kind of like wondering what to write or say. We're going to go through some frameworks that it doesn't have to be challenging or time consuming. And when you're using AI, because you know how it works, how it's going out through the web and it's kind of finding content that's already out there and then giving you a response. So if you're going to be using that exactly, you're pretty much like regurgitating what's already out there. So we're saying no to that, but how can we still harness it without actually just churning out the same stuff that everyone else is saying? We're saying yes to creating high quality content that's easy, fun, and fast, that engages with your audience using your unique, beautiful voice, brand voice, and having those clear goals and objectives so you know that content's going to do what it needs to do. Are we ready? Yes. Okay. So tell me about your biz and what you're selling in any of the comments on the Facebook Live or in the Zoom. I know, how are you? Kel, I know you're Kelly's with habit busting. Cheryl, your coaching, family relationships, and Pamela is helping people with peace and forgiveness. Okay. I'll check. I won't check the Facebook yet. Okay. So you guys know me, but for anyone who's coming in on the replay or watching this as a recording, just a quick little briefie about me. So my name's Katie Joy. I'm the sole income earner, actually really proud to be like a single mum income earner business with my own business and having that freedom and flexibility around with my kids. So I've had my own business since 2010 or something like that. And then we lived and traveled in Asia. And that's when I kind of figured out the online part, because I wanted to stay living over there. A little bit of the digital background. These are my two mentors, Tamara and Nad, who are still my mentors, and they are freaking amazing, like multi 8-figure entrepreneurs. And I was a program coach for this digital marketing certification program, multiple 5-figure launches. Before that, a master's degree in science, studied entrepreneurship, worked at the UN. That's kind of the background thing. But the online space, these are the two people who really inspired me to get into it. And it started before then, when I was actually in Bali. When I came back to Australia, I found these incredible people. So having the right mentors around you makes a massive difference. Literally, it can change your life. Okay, let's get back in. So this is what I'm putting in. Actually, this is what I asked the AI to put in. So let me know if this is what you struggle with. Let me know if this is what you struggle with. Hang on, here we go. With content creation. Who relates?
I can totally relate to all of those.
Just checking. Yes, being consistent, that lack of time, generating ideas, creating engaging content. And also the other one I put in, like knowing exactly who you're talking to and what are they thinking. So that's how we create the content that is connecting. And this is where we start getting into that divine intelligence, like when you really get grounded in who am I wanting to connect with through this content that I'm about to. I was in the mastermind and we came up with coffee day. So I want you to think about when you're creating content on, not coffee day, content date, to go on a content date with yourself. So, like how you love to go out and have a nice cup of coffee. So go on this content date where you're like pamper yourself, you feel grounded, you get connected to that ideal person who you know you deeply want to serve and help, and that you can transform their lives with, and sort of getting into that state of mind first, having your little content date before content creation. Yes, knowing who you're talking to. Art of forgiveness and expression of peace. You are amazing, Pamela. Amazing. Okay. So firstly, we always look at what the purpose of our content is. So really, we're wanting to be seen as the expert, build that know, like, trust, and build desire for your offer, no matter really whatever it is you're selling. That's kind of what we're there with our content to do. I'll just briefly go over the two different types of content. So you've got kind of that longer form discoverable content. They're like those things that people can search for and find in the future, like blogs, podcasts, YouTube videos. So they're important for your business over the longer term, because then you can bring in that traffic without you pushing all the time. So the short-lived content, like the real stories posts, that's not things that people will find when they're like searching on Google, but it is things that captivate, they hook people, they bring them into your world, and really, really quickly you can build the know, like, trust. I don't know how many times you might have seen a cool reel from someone on Instagram, and then you've like jumped over and you've thought, wow, they're just speaking right directly to me. Let's say it was about content. They might have all these content prompts for your Facebook group, saying, you're like, oh my God, I'm growing a Facebook group, I don't know what content to do. Boom, you're just straight down into their funnel. They've got content prompts for you to grow your group. You're starting watching their videos. This is awesome. Boom. So it can happen quite quickly, but you still have to go through that process of building that know, like, trust. It's like the way I was taught about it is like you're dating. So like if you meet someone at the bar and they want to take you straight to the sack, then it's really intense. You've still got to go through those steps. Hey, how are you? What's your name? Getting to know someone. Next date, blah, 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 before you kind of, make out and have sex and get married or whatever. So the same sort of process happens online, but it can happen quickly through your funnels or whatever. Okay. All right. Then just getting that background of our content. So you've got different types of content, educational content, your personal stories, accomplishments, and promo. So remember, we're talking about AI, right? And so I don't think the AI is going to be bringing in your personal stories, your accomplishments, or talk about what you're promoting. So we can see that the AI is going to fit in with the educational content part. And so now you're seeing the gap where you're able to bring in that unique voice, flavor, stand out, and all those things, because you can bring in these other types. You can use it to help you generate the educational content, and then you're going to pull in your personal stories, your accomplishments, things that you're doing. And you're also speaking, you're embodying your content, being authentic. People are seeing that you're living what you're doing. So you're like with Pamela with Peace and Forgiveness, she's not going to get like do a story and say, I effing hate life, mother ever, or whatever like that, because she's about peace and forgiveness. So if she did a story or a post or ranted about like something, then she's not embodying what she's about, which is peace and forgiveness. So that's why with our content, we're always embodying whatever our brand is about as well. Okay, so it's a lot of content. Lucky we've got that AI to help us out. Oh, thanks, Pamela. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to get the grounded, which I touched on your content day, getting into alignment. Everyone has their own way. Through breathing, focusing on that big picture, your why, your vision, like literally imagining the people as like sparkles around the globe, because you can connect to anyone in the whole globe. And I believe when you get into that energetic state, then some magic happens behind the scenes. Okay, how we can use it using AI, like Chat GPT that we're looking at today. So putting yourself, remember, in their shoes, thinking about what they love, what do they want, need, what are they searching for. These are kind of all to that. Then into knowns to the artificial intelligence, because it can give us the best on what we put into it, right? So depending on how we write the search terms, you get really different answers. And an example is the other day, we were looking at a hook title for a hair care brand, and we're putting in, or the client put in something like hook title for hair care or something, and it was just coming out as rubbish. And then I put in list the taglines and hooks for the top hair care brands around the world. And then I had listed all the brands and then their kind of slogan taglines. And from that, it gave us like 15 different tagline-y things that then we were able to like get that inspiration to create one from her. But so how it works is it works really well when you're giving it kind of direct things that it can go out and search for and compile in for you. So you can't really watch things like, you can't put into the AI things like, what do people think? What's good for women? Because it doesn't do opinion. So it does facts. So it's like, well, it doesn't know what women, really want. So it is more like you've got to ask it in the questions, which will go through some prompts about, so it can kind of gather facts in that's going to inspire you. Okay, so because we're talking about content creation, I added these next 2 slides in here, and the purpose is some content frameworks for you to just have, because we're about creating this engaging content, to have in mind, to know that you're strategically creating content that's going to hit the right emotional like triggers and do what it needs to do. So this framework, 1, 2, 3. So you want to be thinking, what is that client thinking and what stage in that buyer's journey are they in? So awareness, consideration, or they're like ready, like to purchase. So in awareness, do they know that they have this problem yet? Like, and how do you speak into that with your peace and forgiveness, Pamela? It might be your content which will help the AI generate more. It'll be speaking into the kind of what, like they're not being able to overcome things. They're feeling anxious because they haven't, like, they know that they've got this something, a painful experience, but they just haven't been able to release or let it go, and it's carrying over with them. So then they go into this, they could be in the next stage when they're like, okay, I'm ready to take action and heal this now. Whereas in this stage, they may not be ready to like, or motivated enough to take action to heal it. And then when they do start considering the options available, and then they're like, okay, something really bad's happened, like my husband's divorcing me because I had this experience that I can't get over. Like myself and my son, first son died. And then you're like, oh, I need to, like, I'm like, really need this now. And so that's when they're getting into that, they have that motivation that they know they really need to solve their problem right now. So with your content, keeping in mind, what have you got for your audience? What's it going to do for them? What's in it for them? Another little, who's heard of this one before? In the comments, can you say if you've heard of this one? It's a copywriting framework that I put in to give you just some background framework. Has anyone heard of it? It's like a marketing thing. Okay. Sherry, yeah, not Cheryl, not Kelly. Okay. Yeah, so basically this particular framework, it's AIDA, it's a copywriting framework. It's about getting the attention or a hook first, and you can use it's a great framework to have when you're doing stories, reels, short posts. So you're thinking about the attention or hooking people in, and then the interest, and then the desire, like building up that desire. So this interest is like the educational little part, building up the desire for getting that solution solved, and then whatever action steps they have. And you can do this depending where they are in that kind of buyer's journey. It'll make more sense when we go over to the AI. So we'll jump on over, because this is where we're going to go into the AI part, where I'll share the screen. So we're going to ask the AI to list certain things like the beliefs, fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations. And that's going to give us lists and triggers that then we can then re-ask it another question. And then we can just end up with a lot of like content ideas that we can go out and create. So who's going to be the guinea pig? Let's hope this works. We'll see what happens. Let me stop this share and grab another one. I'm just going to take you over to the AI now. Okay. Actually, I think. Okay, cool. We've got the right screen. Okay, so let's go. In the chat, do you have let's just put one in as an example. List back. So we've said ask the AI to list like the fears, frustrations, wants, desires, or aspirations of your particular client. So with Cheryl, if we focus on your with transgender parents that have transgender children, so list the fears of raising we'll try this transgender child. See, this is what sometimes happens. Okay, so it's given us some content prompts then. So now we've got, okay, so parents may worry their child may face discrimination. There's the parents may fear their child will be rejected by family members, unsure how to navigate the challenges and uncertainties, worry that they'll say or do the wrong thing. So all of these things now, see how it's just, you haven't had to think about it, and it's given you content then you're able to connect with.
That's really good.
Yeah, like what they're fearing. And then when you connect in with so a fear is an imagined thing. So if we look at the frustrations and fears that I mentioned before, frustrations are real friggin' frustrations that are happening, like I can't get into a doctor for I'm just thinking, I'm trying to think of the real frustrations, but frustrations are the things that are actually happening that are frustrating. Like you can't get into the right doctors or get the right support, and fears are like the imagined things that haven't actually happened. So that's
finding friendships and things too at school and groups that will accept your child. Yeah.
So that's a frustration because it's literally a real thing. Like you're at school and you're not finding friendships. You're struggling to find friendships. So that's a frustration. That's a real thing that's happening. So with our content, we can tap into like the real frustrations, and then the fears, which are like the bigger imagined things or the beliefs that people have about things. So that's how you differentiate between the frustration and fear. So let's try with Kelly. List the biggest frustrations with, to a different one. We'll try this one. List the biggest frustrations with quitting smoking. See this. There we go. So then, so it's listed out. What are they getting frustrated with? The cravings, withdrawal symptom, weight gain. Oh yeah, that can happen. The social pressure or relapsing. So it's able to like, and then if you go into one, let's go into one. Nicotine withdrawal. It's a range of, what are the symptoms of nicotine withdrawal? Explain to me the why can I not write when I'm on live? Symptoms, SYM. Even though you would know, like you're an expert, you already would know these things. When you're having to think all the time about content, it's so much easier if something kind of writes it out, you have it in a document, you can just smash it out, these sections, like you can just smash out the content and all these lists. So then when it comes to you, like with your limited time, you don't want to, how have you heard about with how you can only handle so many decision-making things in a day? Like you're like, you kind of get exhausted of making decisions all the time, or willpower, that was it. So there's this thing that you only have this certain amount of willpower, and if you're like, use it all up telling your kids they can't do something later on, when it comes to the bar of chocolate, you're like, I've used up all my willpower, I'm just gonna have this chocolate now. So the same with all those decisions. If you've just got this document full of stuff that you know because you've done the research, speaks into the fears, frustrations, hopes and desires of exactly where your ideal client is at, and you've got a document full of these things, you can go back to it, and then when you're creating your content and reels, which we're going to get into in the next slide about putting your voice and things into it, it's just so much easier. It takes kind of that headache thing away from it. Does anyone relate to that? Where are we? Oh, okay, Kelly. Yep, you said, do we worry about plagiarism, or can we use their content word for word? Oh, good question. I think I don't know the answer to that, whether we can use it word for word. I have a feeling that we can use it word for word, because effectively it's grabbing, like it's not copying exactly from things. Or I have a feeling that we could use it word for word, but I suggest not to use it word for word. Definitely if you're listing things like this, as long as you're wrapping it around your other stuff, because we want it to stand out from everything else. But I have a feeling that we possibly can use it word for word, but I don't know exactly that answer. Because it's going to spit out kind of different responses depending like on the way you've put the question in. But that's a really good question, actually. Yeah. So back to this one here. What did we get? So we got the core thing, and now we've asked it another question. So remember, this was about getting the broader question. We've asked the AI, and then we knuckled in deep onto this one. So we're like, okay, we've got these points. So we took one point and then we refed it back into the AI so it could expand on that one point. And here we've got it expanded on. So now, if now you can speak into, what is it? The symptoms. That's right. The symptoms of when they're quitting smoking. So where, if you could do a quick short form video, like, hey, you know, you're ready to quit smoking. I know it's really hard. You can have cravings. You can be feeling irritable. You're probably feeling anxious and depressed, restless. You can't sleep at night. You'll have headaches. So all of a sudden, boom, and you're feeling, and you could, even some people get constipated. So you literally like boom out these key things straight in at when you're doing like a short form video. You're hitting all the points and someone's listening to you, and then they're like, wow, she really gets what I'm saying. And for you as the creator, yes, you probably like do know that, but you have so many other things going on to be able to like know that you're nailing all the points, like you know that you are. It's rather than you go like you're thinking and you might think of a couple in the moment, but you've got a lot more structure then. Because remember, I went through the framework before, that attention, interest, what was it? What was it? AIDA, yeah, the attention, interest, desire, and action. So then you know that you're hitting the points when it comes into your content. And so you could be hitting them with the in the start of your video, or you could go into it in a reel. So now you've got, you know how like in reels when you go and you point, like, is this how you're feeling, like cravings, or it could be a carousel post on your content when you like slide the post along, all of a sudden you're hitting all those things, and then you go into, this is how it's solved. So let's go. So different ways to put it in. You can say explain to me. You can say list. Let's try explain to me. Explain to me. Let's do enlist, see what happens. I haven't done this before. Enlist the benefits of, shall we do hypno? Let's try that. Let's try it for something different. Explain to me and list the benefits of hypnotherapy for weight loss. We'll do that one. Something different. So another thing you can put in there with the is to list the benefits out. There's actually so much you can do with here. My Holly sent me a list of prompts. Can I get a little thing in the chat if everyone's finding this useful, because the chat's been quiet? Are you finding it useful? Just put a little like smiley face or something in there so I can see. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. So what did we go? Okay, so I'm going to put into the chat here where you can register for this. I'm not sure if that's the homepage or not, but it'll take you there. Okay, so now we've got the benefits. Another client that I had the other day, this is a great example for you. She had a program. I won't share all the personal details, but she had a program that a membership that she was selling, and it had like, oh, week 1, we're going to give you resources. Week 2, we're going to do a live video. week 3, and that was kind of like, this is what you get in our membership. And then we came into here and we said, no, what are actually the benefits or the outcomes? So that's another thing that you can write in here, is list the outcomes of something. List the outcomes of whatever. List the outcomes of whatever your let's actually use an example. List the outcomes, similar to benefits. List the outcomes of
Forgiveness.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's see what happens. So let's say that you had a membership for forgiveness. Let's just say, for example, and if you're like, okay, join my membership, you're going to get resources, you're going to get live weekly calls. We still have that. We still do list that in our offer. We list that in the what you get part. But when we're at the top of it, we always want to talk about the outcomes of our membership. So you'd say, join this forgiveness vortex, where you're going to go through a process of letting go. And actually, I probably wouldn't use these. I was just looking at them. I thought it was going to give me the right thing. And you will, oh, maybe yes. And what's going to happen, you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to let go of the anger and resentment towards the person. You're going to be able to let go of the anger and resentment. Let's say the benefits. Let's see what happens with the difference. Oh, shoot. List that. We'll do that. List the benefits of forgiveness. Oh, see, it's actually, I don't know, is it different? It's similar. Reduced anger. Reduced anger. No, it is it actually has come out a little bit different, which is interesting. You know? Okay, so then we can talk about, you're going to increase self-esteem. What is that really? You're feeling confident. So then we can use this and go, okay, when you join this member, you're going to feel confident. You're going to feel great about yourself. You're going to have less stress, feel happier, more vitality. So this is what we say with this one. It's given us a hint, right? Improve physical health, but that doesn't really connect with someone. So we can use that as a prompt and turn it around. You're going to have more vitality. You're going to feel more motivated for life. You're going to feel more energized to achieve what you want to achieve. So see how we're using them for prompts, and then we're turning it into the content that we need it to be, and we know we're touching on the power of it. So let's get into, okay, this is from Polly, my friend, who sent me this. And I just wanted to show you some of the types of things you could write into the AI on here. So these are the type of like questions, because remember I said explain to me, list the benefits. That's what I showed you before. So this is just, I'm showing you this so you can get an idea of like other type of search terms that you can put in to get the content that you want. So these have things like develop an SEO friendly content strategy to attract. Write copy for a search engine optimized product page to increase visibility and sales for, and then name your product. You can say create a content calendar. Oh, let's do this. I'm just curious. I haven't tried this one. Create a content calendar to plan and schedule blog work and other content for a let's try yours. Forgiveness, coaching, peace and forgiveness. For a peace and forgiveness. I'll just put life in there just in case it gives it some extra things. Yeah, Kelly, I'll just have a chat with Polly who sent it to me and I'll see. I'm sure she'll be fine. Okay. Whoa. Here we go. Let's have a look while it keeps writing. Okay. Golly gosh. The benefits of mindfulness of finding peace and forgiveness. Share a quote about forgiveness, the connection between gratitude and forgiveness, how gratitude can help you let go. Share a podcast or video interview with the forgiveness expert or coach. Share a tip or exercise for finding inner peace and forgiveness in your daily life. Highlight a book article. Is this helpful, Pamela? How to forgive yourself for moving forward and finding peace. Share blog posts with relevant image. Share a story or article about the power of self-forgiveness and its impact on your life. Share a free resource for finding peace and forgiveness. The role of empathy and forgiveness, why understanding is the key. So there you go. Like, it just gives you a good structure, right? So that was that one. You could ask it to create a live. Let's try this one. Sorry, it just gets like fun. And then you only need to sit down and do it once, related to peace and forgiveness. What did I call it? Peace and forgiveness. I'll call it this. Well, see how like depends what you put in. If I didn't put life coach, if I put something else, it would say different things. Gosh, it's actually giving you all of those details. Okay, interesting. I wanted to have titles, but anyway, I'd have to change it. I should say live video titles. So then see how if it gave you this answer, I wanted it to list all my hook titles for a video series that I would think, okay, great, I can do all these titles, but it actually didn't do that. So then you like think, okay, it didn't give me what I want, and then you'll like write in something else. Yeah, so then you could write in maybe list 5 titles for a live video series. Let's see what happens there. Just as fun, list 5 titles for a live video series on peace and forgiveness. Yeah, so then it kind of gives you, and how it's getting at is it's going out to the whole internet and finding like, you know, what are the key things people are talking about, what would be great, you know, titles for this particular topic. And it's like searching it and finding it. And you can just like use it to inspire you, you can change it, but at least you're not like busting your brain trying to think about everything. So these other ones, you can get it to write an email newsletter. You can type in things like create a content partnership related to this, write an exit intent pop-up, develop a lead magnet. Ooh. Let's ask it what lead magnet for a forgiveness business, you know? It's like having your someone else to talk to who has a lot of knowledge because they can go out to the internet and like, so imagine you're talking to Google, like, but it's like going like as a conversation, you know, you're talking to Google, it can go out there. So it's you got a really smart person as a friend, a smart, you know, think of it like that. You can just ask it different things. Develop a content audit and optimization plan, write an ebook to generate leads for a forgiveness business. What about an e-course? What do you mean? Like list out an e-course or something, or list the lesson titles for an e-course on forgiveness? Is that what you mean? List the lesson titles for an e-course on, I'll just say for a course. See what happens. Oh, they only did 5. Building empathy. How does this sound to you? Because you're the expert in it, Pamela. Like these type of lesson titles. I should have written modules in, because it would have given me different information, perhaps not. But the psychology, are these important things you found? Overcoming obstacles, coping with resentment, practicing strategies. Like, is this good, is what I'm asking you, because you're the expert and I'm not, and all I've done is feed it information. So in your opinion, Pamela, is this providing useful, good content that you could work? Yeah. Okay, great. So it's on point. So that's really good feedback. So now you can see how you can harness it and use it to your advantage. And we're going to get into like how we change it around. Here's another idea, like create the podcast series, write copy for a landing page, promoting a specific, you'd write what type of offer it was. And then you can even, and that you can say using certain frameworks. The other thing with it is what you can actually say is you can say in what tone of voice. So I've put that in before. I've said, write in a friendly, happy tone of voice, explain to me in a friendly, happy voice, whatever the question was. So you can ask it to write it back in a certain tone. And so that's really helpful for you to know as well, because if you've got if you're a professional business, you can say write in a professional tone, write in an caring, compassionate voice. Like you can ask it to write in a voice that aligns with your brand. So that's another way how it's going to get more personality in the answers that it gives. And then rounding back to your one, Kelly, when you said, can we copy it? That's why I said probably yes, because when you can write in it, like write in a professional tone, and then it's going to give you like that unique response with that tone that someone else hasn't put in. So that's the other part for it. So any other questions while we're still here, and then we'll jump back into the presentation with parts, how we're going to use this. Now you've seen this, and now how are we going to make it really unique and use your voice and tap into that divine intelligence? But while we're here, do you have any more questions on the AI side, or anything you want me to type in? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, Sarah, hello. Yay. I'm just checking the other comments in the group. And so I was checking on the Zoom call, but now I'm having a little look in the group to see if you have questions. Consistency. Oh, perfect. Yes. So Sarah's just signed up for it and testing a few topics. Have you guys signed up to this is my favorite one. So this is the OpenAI, and and people are, which is open source software, and other companies, they're kind of tapping into it, and then they're making their own like stuff around it, and then they're using it to help people as well, like in their own way. So you'll find a lot of company, like those other companies that pop up and they say, oh, we help you with this. Like they're kind of tapping into that, and then they're putting their own parameters around it and building out something more specific, using it with a more specific purpose. But I like this one because it's just, straight to it, boom, without specific bells and whistles. Okay, so we're going to leave this one now. I didn't see anything in here. Jane, yeah, okay. So let's get out of here. And we'll pop back over to this one. Okay, so there we went in there now and we had a look. We're asking the AI all those things. Like we actually didn't get, I should have came back here. We didn't write in here like about tell me what people like, whatever X person wants. What are the aspirations of X, Y, Z, like parent of well, I think depends on your particular, you know, offer that you're selling. So it could be just say with the hair care, what does someone actually really want when it comes to solving their hair care issue? Is it that they want nice soft hair, or is it really aspirations? Is it really that they want to look, you know, beautiful and feel attractive and, you know, look great for themselves or their husband or find a partner? Like, is it really just are you just gonna end your content at you're gonna get soft hair that you can brush and look nice, or are you going to go into the aspirations like, you know, gorgeous hair, so like that you look, you know, look stunning, you look 10 years younger, like if your target market's a bit older, and then you're getting their hair look beautiful, so then you're tapping into the aspirations of actually the beautiful hairs making them look a lot younger. So there, we didn't even get into that part, but so that's kind of when I'm saying go deeper with your content, like really get into those. What is it really? And that's only by asking customer, you know, as you grow, however, whatever stage you're in at your business, but remembering that like the deeper things, like go as deep as you can into the real like outcomes and aspirations. Okay. Yeah, so when I was talking about the aspirations, so it's kind of, remember I said the fear is not real? It can be like a made up sort of fear. When it comes to aspirations, it's like the opposite of that. So it's kind of those big goals and ideas, like the big sort of, they may not even be consciously acknowledged. So there where you go a little bit, dig a bit deeper. Okay, so let's make it pop, baby. Let's make the content pop. So we've been over to the AI, and now we want to make it pop. We want to make it unique. We want to make it amazing. So what can we do? This is where you add in those stories, your own personal stories. I touched on how you can ask it to provide a tone for you. So say it in a friendly voice, say it in a professional voice, say it in a compassionate voice, right? Tone. So you can get it to spit that out. But also you've got your own words that you use. You know, you've got your voice. So use that as like an inspiration for your content, and then add in that own flavor and the words and the terms and the things that feel really aligned to you. Because at the beginning I said, remember, we're going on that content date. We're feeling grounded. We're feeling connected with the outcomes of whose lives we can change, who we can help. And when you're at that connected state and you're getting these prompts, you're able to wrap in like that tone, the voice, the flavor that's connecting, that's coming from you, that's coming in out from the heart space. That's when we also bring in your creative style. So it's giving us kind of lists, but then we're going and we're still creating our carousel posts. We're creating our captions. We're creating our reels. We're creating our stories. So that's like, what's your style in creating a story? You know, like you might have a picture of you outside because it's a health and fitness one. you know, so then there's a picture of you outside talking about these different content things. What's your creative style? Do you use, like, sometimes I've seen Jess, she's using like this green screen at the moment on her reel, so where her face pops up on the thing, so that's her style that she's doing it. So then some people are using music, some people are like speeding up the video and then putting the words on top. Like, that's when you're adding in your creative style to it, and it's making it like different, standing out with you, especially you're like leading your brand. And then you're adding in your own opinion and personal stories. So you've got all that kind of content ideas. Now think of the clients that experienced it. Think of your own story. Think about what's your real like opinion around this? How can you pull that in? So we've used the AI to generate, like, really help us with the content, but to make it unique to you, now you bring in your stories, you bring in your opinions, you bring in your creative style, and then you bring in your tone, voice, flavor, the type of words. Like, are you someone who swears all the time? Are you someone who never swears? Not that the AI is swearing, but just say like you are someone who goes AF or something, or, you know, then you're going to add that in because it hasn't got the tone of your voice. So that's kind of how we're going to make it pop. Any questions with that one? Okay, lovely. Thanks, Cheryl. Let's recap. Okay, we'll get to the end. We've got a couple of minutes. Supposed to finish at 10:30, so 4 more minutes. So we'll recap. So we have, now you understand the difference. We've went through the content types, like the longer form, the discoverable, the four content types to build authority fast, which was the educational, stories. What else did we have? Educational, stories, your accomplishments, and your promos. So that's another thing that I should have put when we're making it popping. We're adding in our social proof as well. So anything that that's personal to you, you're adding that in there to what we've got from the AI. So we went through that. Then we went through how to harness AI, like the types of questions to put in to the AI and to get those lists and things in the content generating, and then how we're also using our own intuition to create it. So how we're getting grounded, how we're wrapping everything around in our like voice and flavor, and bringing it centered and getting our content from the heart space, not from the logical space, and visualizing who we're helping. And while we're creating it, it sounds a little bit woo-woo. I'm not super woo, but I'm enough woo to know that, like, when you're in this space of feeling powerful and enlightened and ready to serve, then that's when the magic happens. So beautiful. I think that's pretty much it today. And if you are new here, and I know a couple of people are in the mastermind. If you're not, and you're here and you're thinking, oh, I don't know, I'm not good at converting on social media yet. I'm excited about using AI, but I know there's a lot to learn, because I just gave you like a brief view, and then it's like, okay, so what are these frameworks? I only gave a couple of frameworks, and how am I really going to pull all this stuff together? You'll want to learn more about digital marketing and conversational sales, and you're like, this is great information, Katie, but I want to know a little bit more. Then I would just want to invite you to book in for a chat, because I've launched recently a mastermind, which is a beautiful, with deep support and accountability until you're making that money online. So because it's a small mastermind, lots of support and accountability. So I want to invite you to come and book a call if you would like to. at least explore what's possible. And then you can book that in at claritycall.biz. Love to have a chat with you, and let's explore what is possible. Okay, let's do this. Thank you for being here. I hope it's been helpful. I really want to see your content. So you're in the Facebook group, Powerful Online Business Mamas. Share anything in there, your content from your posts that you're doing, or if you are interested in Reels and haven't started that, I have some more training on Reels. So just write Reels in the comment and I'll get that one to you. And let's just be in this amazing space where we're creating our content from the heart, and we are enjoying life in our businesses and serving and loving and just, you know, living an amazing, beautiful life. So thank you so much for being here. If you want to have a chat, book in a call. Otherwise, I can't wait to see what is coming from you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you later.